What's up, everybody? Today we're talking about 3 basic things you need to know, 3 things you need to get down if you're a shorter fighter wanting to enter on taller opponents. Something that you need to know, because eventually we're all going to end up against somebody who's bigger, who's taller. Doesn't even need to be in your fights, it could just be in sparring. Gotta know this kind of stuff. 3 basic tips. Right now, I am in Newark, and I'm doing a little seminar tour. Was in Baltimore yesterday, Newark today, heading home tonight. So I will be back to my normal setup, but still wanted to bring you guys some information today. So the very first thing that you have to be able to get down is entering with your head off the center line. Because if every time I push forward to start an attack and the longer fighter just goes, no, and I'm trying to reach with them, but every time they do that, they beat me, well, all you simply have to do is enter and drop your head to the side. It's the same as a slip, but I do it as I push forward. And now when they go to throw that jab or cross or whatever punch they're trying to do, you're going to have it miss. You can land yours, and then you can step and close the distance. This can be done off the jab. It can be done off the cross. The footwork could either be I step out on a 45-degree angle with one foot, and then I bring my back foot in on the follow-up punches, or I move both feet. That works very, that works very well. The second thing that you need to get down is faking. If you don't fake, what's going to happen is every time you go to push forward, even if you do have your head off the center line, that person is going to throw to try and stop you. So what I would do if I had longer arms, I would stay at my range, I would wait for them. As soon as they go to push, I would take maybe a little step back and hit that jab, or step back and hit the cross. So when you fake and you start giving people twitches, you're going to get them reacting. And they're going to be like, oh, I have to stop him. Oh, I have to stop him. But they're hitting air. And eventually they're going to not be able to throw a jab every time you fake, because they go, oh, okay, I don't know if he's coming or what is actually happening. They become complacent. The faking is a great way to draw those fighters into trying to pump their defensive jab, but then lose faith in it, essentially. Then you go back to that head off the center line and charging forward. If you want to get better at faking, we have a couple basic things. We don't just want to do it slow. It needs to be kind of at the speed of a regular shot, but it could be the arm moving. It could be the hip moving. It could be a little twitch of the foot. Something like that is going to draw a reaction. And that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to draw that reaction so that they do something, and then I can go, okay, I'll go back to stage number 2. Or stage number 1, sorry. Now, the last tip that I have for you guys is to start stringing combos, punch combos off kicks. Because as the shorter fighter, if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to enter with my hands and then blast a kick off at the end, you're having to deal with that range disparity. But if you can start combos off with a kick and then fall to your hands while they're being defensive, you have a much higher likelihood of actually getting that combo started and not getting shut down, as opposed to, okay, I'm going to try and lead with my hands. It doesn't mean you need to do it all the time, but a lot of times we finish combos with kicks, and that's great. But if you can do the opposite, reverse the roles, lead with the kick and then follow with the hands, then you're going to have that advantage of going, okay, I can reach him with my leg, but he can't reach me with the punches. Of course, he can reach you with the kicks, but that's when we go, okay, as the shorter fighter as well, you need to get really good at blocking shots and closing the distance. So every time they kick, you either catch and drag them in, or you block and close the distance and make them pay. Being the shorter fighter is never easy, but it's something, like I said at the beginning, if you're not working it, you're foolish. Because at some point, there's going to be somebody taller. I saw recently in some weight class, I think it was 145, that there was a dude who was 6'3" fighting in it. You're going, what? 6'3"? Like, I thought I was tall at 5'11"-ish at 145 pounds. All of a sudden you throw in somebody 6'3". I mean, I would have never thought that. I fought a guy who was 6'1", 6'2". I thought those were the tallest dudes ever. No, somebody bigger comes in. And of course, at the gym, when we're sparring, we're going against different weight classes. So you will have people who are bigger, and you don't want to go every time you have a sparring match with somebody who's a different weight class and they're taller, go, oh, I'm just going to get shut down. That's my mindset, just because they have a height advantage. No, height advantage does not always mean you're going to win, or you have that advantage, which means you're going to dominate the round. You just got to use the tips I gave you today. So let's call it there, everybody. Thank you for joining me, and I will be back home soon to bring you regular style content.